As that guys, you don't need the full 3-minute timer. It was just what I had set up, so I just popped it on. In the top right side, I'm going to go into this next best of 3 semi-final as we start in the red Zerg corner of the map on Ancient Cistern with Solar. And in the bottom left, blue Protoss player here is going to be herO as we kick off into our first game of this best of 3. Kick this off and get this going. Bit of PvZ to get things going. And let's see what we can do, where we can go, what the plan is across the course of this one. So, Solar, herO, game starts up right here. Kind of exciting. I really do feel like two players that also trade matches quite a lot. Let's actually do some stat lookup on Solar herO as a series, because that's one I actually wonder about a little bit. I feel like herO probably has an edge against Solar, if I had to guess, maybe 60-40 like this year specifically. Oh wow, herO dominated Solar this year, holy crap. Let me put it in from 2023. So this year, herO is 10-6 in matches against Solar, so yeah, 60-40 isn't too far off, and they're 26-20 in maps, so 43% in 57% map win rate, 63% series win rate for herO. So Solar oftentimes gets a lot of the kind of the first game or so, like one game in a series. Actually, it was a bit more Solar favored earlier this year. More recently, herO had a 1-2-3 since the WardiTV TLMC, which was in May. They had a 1-2-3-4-5-6 herO win streak. Solar won once in the Africa Cup qualifiers, and then herO won in a Kung Fu Cup third place match in the final Kung Fu Cup of the season in July. So most recently it was herO. Generally this year it's been herO, and especially recently it's been all about herO when it comes down to this PvZ series between these two. So see what happens, as we do have a link speed coming up. A Stargate opening on the side of herO, so that's going to be pretty expected as well. So we get that all underway, and we see where we can take this. Link speed, hatchery. That's going to be seeing the third hatch coming up then, so no surprises about that to start us out. Stargate is still about halfway done, as our warp gate is still just getting going here on the side of herO as well. So just bring that up as well. Link speed's about halfway through, as a couple of drones are still popping on out. And yeah, we get a few more drones out here. The hatchery's still coming out. Was it Bjorn or who actually won the other match, guys? I actually didn't see who won in the end between herO and between Bjorn and Kua. Sorry, it was Bjorn. So Bjorn is in the finals, waiting for either TVP or TVZ, best of 5 against either Solar or herO, obviously. So that's what our lineup looks like today. The winner of this plays Bjorn, and that will be our ESL Open Cup Korea number 185. 15 editions to go until number 200, by the way. When is that going to be? So 186 is the last week of July. 187, 8, 9, 90. 191, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. First week of November is going to be Open Cup number 200. It's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. As our Stalker comes over, it's going to knock down this Overlord. Overlord will die, Nexus will be placed. Get this up and running. A few extra queens on the way out. Oracle is still coming through, going to be finishing very shortly as well. And yeah, we get all of this just fully underway. Warp Gate is also going to be finishing up. Obviously Stargate, not super surprising. Double Oracle being out on the map, also not super surprising for these early few moments. Even going to go triple Oracle as the first couple of Adepts try and make their way into a mineral line. They will not commit with the Queens there. Like I said, the Oracles are coming across the map as well. Queens come out, Oracle already taking just a little bit of damage. Fortune and Twilight Council continue through. Queens are here, Oracle's taking a few more shots. Melee upgrade will start on the side of Solar as well, so bringing that melee upgrade into play. 5 more drones, a few extra Zerglings will continue to produce. Just going to be seeing 7, 8 drones all on the way out from Solar right now, as our Lings going to run around, going to try and grab a couple of these Adepts. Transfusion on the Creep Tumor. Well, the Creep Tumor will go down just after. Oracle's coming through, a couple drones going down, gonna try and get a little bit more perhaps. For the moment, still only 2 drones. In these initial few moments, the Lings come around, they're gonna grab 1, and actually 2 of these are depths, so they're gonna get picked off a little bit as well. Stalkers are there, gonna push the Lings back over to the sides. It's gonna be seen now blink and +1 continuing up. The extra gates are coming through, the Oracles are still gathering up together. And yeah, 4 more gateways just all coming out here as we do drop another pylon. Well, actually a battery down this time around, so just going to get that into place as well. Make a double Robo with the Robo Bay. So blink into Robo Bay. Are we going to see some Colossi? herO, when you think back to like Katowice this year, was actually a big fan of using Colossi back then. I think of that epic game you had against Sterile where you had those kind of ridiculous kind of Colossus micro kind of moments and just trying to keep them alive and stuff. He has kind of used this throughout the year. Obviously, every time we see a Colossus right now, everyone's going to start being like, Colossi. Because they've got that extra bit of range. Let's see what the choice becomes here then, as we do have the second Robo finishing shortly. Oracles, for the most part, here still being used for defense, as we have killed 19 Lings in the game, a couple of drones. It's not being super aggro from herO, but still clearing up some Zerglings, etc. as these Lings. They're about to find a mineral line opening. I wonder if that would have been a better choice just to get some probes instead of going for the battery. We do get the battery. Some Lings on the right side being dealt with by the Oracles. 3 probes now going down, so we're actually going to get some workers on the tail end of this anyway. And Hydra's coming up from Soul. It really makes me feel, A, that herO has a perfect choice of build. Colossi, double Colossi against Ling Hydra is incredible. I was also going to say, though, that maybe Soul is going to be quite an aggressive player in this game and just hit something of a Ling Hydra timing, but that's not the case. Those Hydras continue up, but there's an infestation pit on the way. We're now going to look toward the future as well, so Solar has other plans, and he probably does need to hit Hive Tech here in order to realistically be in a good spot, because without Hive Tech, he's not going to be able to get Vipers, and without Vipers, he's not going to be able to fight Colossi, and he's going to go Lurk Den too, so he really is going to double down on that later tech army. Isn't it cheaper to just make a new tumor than to transfuse one? Yes, but there might be something, because if you build a new tumor, it's then going to have full cooldown on when it can spread forward. So if you transfuse the tumor that's already there, you might be able to spread it forward much faster, which essentially is 2 tumors, right? Because then, yeah, it's maybe just 1 tumor of energy. It's, the Lings are going to get a Colossus. Oh my god, don't tell me the Colossi are going to die to Zerglings. One of them did. The other one does get saved. As herO just comes pushing, sorry, let's hold that thought, because I can't believe that one of the Colossi died here already. Like I say, the Colossi were an amazing choice with what Solar can build. The timing is beautiful, because this is just as Solar is on that kind of Ling Hydra only. He hasn't hit Lurkers, he hasn't hit Hive Tech. So it's the perfect time to do something like this as herO, to go aggressive, but you can't let your Colossi, which are the main stars of the show, just die to Zerglings. That's something you should never be allowing to happen, so that can only be looked at as a pretty major mistake. As Colossus goes retreating away, the Zerglings are going to chase. Don't tell me that Colossus is going to die to Zerglings again, please, no. Prism comes over to save it, and now the Prism is going to say, oh look, Colossus can kill things, huh? If you just control them a little bit, turns out it's pretty good. Yeah, TLDR, by transfusing the tumor, you're probably going to end up with more creep than if you just rebuild even 2 tumors. Because the creep will not recede at all, you can spread it forward much sooner. You're just going to have more creep in general. Healing's going down. We do have the army still here from herO coming out the right-hand side. Lings on the bottom. Going to go after a cannon, going to go after a battery. Army still setting up on the top side. A few of these Baitons getting chased around. We are going to try and push up this ramp if the extra Lurkers continue to morph in. Firing up. Just going to see how Sentry's taking some shots. Obviously, herO still believing he wants to just be aggressive. Fight these Lurkers before they reach full power. There's a lot of Lurkers though, so you're going to have to respect them to some extent. How far off Vipers are we? Just none in existence, none being made. I would have thought that would be a priority. Even just 1 Viper, right? 1 Viper, get the energy up, 2 abducts on these Colossi, and boom, suddenly there's way less splash damage that the Protoss players, really leaning on. gotta imagine the Vipers are one of the next priorities from Solo. It might not be a right now thing, but it's gotta be a sometime soon thing, right? Because they're also gonna be very useful against the Lurkers. So this is a thing with the Colossi, they can outrange the freaking Lurkers, right? So actually, this is Colossi showing their true strength with the extra range. Maybe it is a little bit... Okay, guys, maybe it is a little bit broken. There are all the Vipers, like I say. They had to be a priority from Solo at some point soon. You can get away without them for now. But at some stage, you need them just to be able to fight anything that herO is building. First Disruptors are indeed out as well. As they join the army, herO's forces will reach another layer of strength. Disruptors obviously really good against Lurkers because they can force them to unburrow and relocate. 2 Disruptors will KO a Lurker, so you gotta be very on top of things as Solo, otherwise herO will start doing some very serious chip damage through your defenses. What side is gonna go? Find an initial small crawler. Disruptors quite far forward will find the shots towards Lurkers, again force them to unburrow and relocate a little bit. That's going to be one of their main goals here, one of the main advantages that they can take from this all. Extra Stalkers warp in, a couple extra Disruptors are coming out, Temple Archives is still coming through, Charges halfway done, plus 3 attackers starting. A couple of Banes starting to get knocked out as our Lurkers put some fire damage out. Viper's looking to get a little Abductor too, like I say, this is where they're going to be really good. There's a lot of Disruptor shots, only net 1 Lurker kill. We did kill a Colossus. Lings on the counter-attack. Still tries to make this complicated for herO. Tries to make this difficult because obviously he doesn't want this to just be a simple kind of, you know, you push and you do what you want to do thing. He wants to make this a little bit more of a serious commitment. Another Disruptor shot will fire, but hits his own pylon and Zealot. That Disruptor is a trade. If there's one Disruptor that needs to make up for live things, it is him. Oh, he's going to get saved by the Prism, isn't he? Oh no, herO's going to let him die for being a traitor. That's what happens. He could have been saved. He was not. That's what happens when you kill your own stuff. You get left to die as well. Pros players are ruthless with their units. Four probes going down as we get a few more Lings over on that left-hand side. The army of herO still pushing up the right. We do see the Lurkers burrow. Some Lurker spines firing through, doing some good damage. A few extra High Templar. Gonna get warped in. Now a Lurker in the back here is gonna push some probes away. As you really start to press forward now. Lings again, though, are making this complicated for herO. He's taking so much damage to these Ling counterattacks. Solo give himself more of a lifeline, less of a chance that herO wins this game just off of this attack. Hallucinated Colossus is going to try and maybe force a mistake of a commitment or so, but I actually think this is going to be a little bit too much from Solo. I mean, herO has done what he can, but he's lost so much economy. This army here I don't think is going to last too much longer. We've got one very hurt Colossus, one that's okay. But yeah, he just kind of gets ripped apart by the Lings, and he just did not have the defense against the counterattacks. This was honestly a very good game for herO, I felt like, until the very end. And Solo is just able to kind of, again, left-hand corner. We're going to start off with our Red Zerg player with a 1-0 lead in the best of 3 semi-finals. In the red, from Onside Gaming, Solo. Bottom right, our blue Protoss is going to be herO. That game slipped away from him. I really felt like he was okay. I really felt like he was doing fine. He just couldn't break through the Lurker lines while also taking the damage of the Lings on the other side. Just like that. Getting around here early again. Going for a little bit. Probe drops down. A cybernetics core. Nexus continues to come through. We're just gonna see our drones coming around. Probe coming through. Couple queens, couple lings, all getting set for the moment. Queens, lings all coming out. Nexus coming through. Again, our Nexus just coming up, going to be finishing shortly. Adept on the way, Probe coming through for the moment as well, and just seeing where we go. Stargate is the choice here initially. Get this underway. Probe continues out down to the south. Yep, coming over. A couple lings gonna get over there. Just gonna be seeing our Adept still moving around a little bit here and there, trying to see what's going on, trying to see what happens. Just for the moment. Adept's going through, actually knocking down a couple of creep tumors, which is actually quite a nice little move as well to make. All these early stages. Oracle's still trying to move around, still trying to see a little bit more of what is going on. Fortunate Twilight Council going to be setting up from herO. A few gates coming through and just going to be seeing our Nexus finishing up. Couple of moments, couple more probes all on the way out. Our Oracles still journeying around on the top side. Oracle's going to try and get a queen. They're going to dive through the spore to get it. One Oracle will have to peel away due to the damage taken, but the others can sit in the mineral, and we only get 2 drones out of that, which just doesn't feel all that hot. Link +1, all continuing through. It's going to be seeing our cannon coming up, a few extra gates all coming in. Again, Lair continuing through our thing popping out just for a few moments. We continue on and along as our +1 attack and our blink continues into play. Our Ling's getting turned around by a couple of adept shots at the front. This thing's actually going to dive. Command for some workers. First couple of probe kills of the game here. As now the adepts a little out of position too, so they're going to take some issues. Oracles will continue by. Lings will continue to take some hits. And +1 and blink still both on the way up as continue through for this as our melee upgrade is nearly done from solo. So playing the melee this time, going to stay quite heavy on the Lings against this Blink Stalker attack. Definitely not a bad way to go as our Stalkers will get our Overlord. Stalker's going to stay aggressive here. herO's setting up these forward pylons and everything. Really wants to kind of make this position work for himself, so he's not going to slow down a little bit. He's going to really kind of commit right there. As it's going to be seeing our Stalkers pinging away. Queen's taking a little bit of damage. Going through, a couple Stalkers getting punched around a little bit. Then you have the close by gateway finishing soon to speed up the progress on these warp-ins, on these reinforcements. herO very committed. You know, this is, you know, just +1, no follow-up just yet in 7, going to 8 gates, so wants to achieve something. There's Lings on the counter-attack, going to catch some Stalkers over here, and more will be warped in. That does slow you down a little bit, too. Ling's going to continue forward. Just going to be seeing the Roaches coming forward as well. A few Lings getting caught on that stasis ward. Might see some additional Stalkers just getting warped in as well. First Queen going to take some shots. The Ling Roach Ravager continues by, and just seeing our Stalkers still setting up. And the Queen that gets taken out. Our Stalkers will blink back one more time. Is this going to be a hold from Solo? These are the kind of defenses which are very hard to judge, right? Like, it really feels very touch and go on both sides until you just start to see one player slip. For the moment, Solo looks fine. For the moment, herO looks fine. He'll continue to contest. We got all these stasis wards up here, so if Solo chases too hard, he will get caught up in those. He will get punished. Ideally, you send a couple Lings up there. You slip a couple Lings by. That could maybe set off those stasis wards, so you do have chase potential. So you can run up this ramp if you want to. herO75, thank you so much. 29-month resub on the Prime. Thanks, Wardy, for the StarCraft love. Thank you so much for the stream love, mate. Thank you. 29 months. Supporting what we're doing here. As our Stalker's pulling back, just going to be seeing our Roach Ravager Queen still coming through. It's coming over. Stalker's taking some hits. We blink back a little further. Corrosive Bile's trying to line on up. Roach Ravager trying to come through Spore. Going to take a few shots of damage as well. We do have our Stalkers still pressing forward here from herO, and he is going to come in and just going to be having our Roach Ravager still coming by. A few Corrosive Biles. Continue to drop in the Stasis Ward. Catching again a few of those Lings. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Get a few of the Lings up there. Nothing too crazy. Just make it so that it's, you know, the Stasis Wards are gone, and now if you want to, the Roach Ravager can chase up here a bit more easily as well. Generally a good way to go about this as our Stalkers continue to trade out, continue to try and fight. The Roach is still taking some shots. Stasis was trying to come in. We actually blink forward aggressively as herO believes he's got enough right now to overwhelm. He cuts a few units on the Roach, a few Roaches on the right side in the Stasis, and it is going to be enough. herO eventually does buzz through. And that, my friends, is going to be GG's. We're going to a game 3 between these two. We're going to see the full. We're going to start in the top left-hand corner with our red Zerg player here from Onside Gaming. This is Solar. Taking on the blue Protoss, equalizing off that Stalker pressure on Dragon Scales. It will be herO. Why did he build Nexus? Why the hell not? For the overcharge on the batteries. It's going to make your position even better. You're that committed to it? Go for it, you know? He's very committed to making that position work. If you got the minerals, then yeah, I guess why the hell not? Why the hell not? The drone's coming out, hatch coming up. We'll just have our gauge and our assimilator all coming through. And drop the spawning pool down. So yeah, actually got some pool. Pool coming out for a few moments, getting this set to go. You can't overcharge a battery that isn't close to a Nexus. No, you have to have a battery next to a Nexus to overcharge. Otherwise, people would just proxy battery overcharge in your natural. That'd be so OP, right? That'd be insane. I'm telling you, insane. There's our next in Cybercore finishing here. A couple of Queenslings in, drones all on the way out. We do see our first Adept popping out on the natural as well. And that ready to go for the moment. Yes, we coming up. A couple of Queens coming through. Stargate is about halfway done as well. A couple more probes on the way out. Pretty standard start. Probes is going to nibble up. Just going to get mining away. Again, our Warp Gate coming through. The Stargate still coming out. A couple probies all getting produced for the moment as... Let's just wait to see where this game's going to take us. See what sort of ideas we have. The first Adept just going to try and get a little bit of damage done there. Nothing too much just for the moment, though. And that link speed underway. Just going to see the Queen coming up. A few more Lings coming out. The Oracle just going to be finishing in a couple of moments. Warp Gate's coming up to being about done. Again, the Oracle continues through as well. He's going to come across, actually going to get a little bit of a jump onto this position. Try and be a little bit cheeky here, try and get something out of this. As we do have our Lings mostly getting cleaned up though. We get one Adept, 7 Lings go down. You win some, you lose some, I think, for the most part on that one. And it's just going to be seen. Our Queen's still popping through, our drones in production. And again, the Nexus coming through on the 3rd base, so herO can get that started now. Yeah, pretty fine early game on both sides of this for the moment. As the Oracle's coming by, gonna get a couple of creep tumors as well. Also, so far, so good on that one. Twilight and the Forge coming through, reduces the extra drones are all coming out. And that is just Solo with the opportunity. Just drone, drone, drone. He knows this is Oracles. He knows that there's nothing really coming his way for a little while. So drone button is what you hold down. And just make sure that you can, deal with the fact Oracles will kill a few workers as well. And like I say, get set up so that when that Twilight and Forge does finish and when the upgrades are done off of those, you are extremely ready to play against it. At that point, you don't want to be droning. At that point, you want to be producing units and your tech and everything else. So that's what we're setting up for right here. A couple of Oracles coming through for 4 drone kills once again. Again, just nice little bits of damage being dealt. The more damage we do here as herO, the more you slow the Zerg down, the better your follow-up is going to be. He has a few Adepts. Again, this is manageable with a handful of Lings. They're not going to commit there as the Lings are already right on top of them, so nothing comes of that. Blink and the +1 just continue through, and Oracle's already going to take a few more shots. Queen is going to turn around as the Adepts will continue to take some damage. The Lings will be there to clean those up, so the Lings will get the Adept kills. Like I said, there wasn't ever going to be really too much to be done with those. But we got a couple drones, right? I mean, at some point, you may as well give these Adepts up. They're not going to be useful forever. The earlier you get a couple drones, the more effective it's typically going to be as well. So, like I say, take advantage of it while it's going to have a bit more of an impact. Just makes, naturally, a bit of sense. Here we're going to start a second Forge, by the way. That's funky. You don't usually see a second Forge. Obviously, double upgrades can be a little bit on the greedy side of things, but that is exactly what herO wants to go into here, apparently. So, and that's set up. Couple gates coming out, +1, blink, all being brought into play. As our Oracles come through, a few more drones going down. It's 5 workers killed. Again, +1, blink, both coming through. The Robo facility is on the way out. Gateway still coming up also. And how many gates are we going to get to? Probably not too many, right? With the fact that it's a second Forge, we're going to continue upgrades this time. Compared to the single upgrade we stopped at last time, and then we just kind of went for it with all the gateways. There's going to be a very different approach instead. Hydrogen will drop into place. It's going to be seen again. More drones coming out, +1 missiles and roach speed all coming through. A couple of oracles activating to try and just get a little bit of damage dealt. Our queen's taking some shots there. Again, charge +2/+1. All the upgrades for herO to set up into the next stage of the game. And also that robo base, we're going to have some splash damage tech for him available too. We also have ourselves the infestation bit and hydrogen coming out on the side of Solus. So he really is teching up himself. Going to go straight towards Hive. And straight towards Lurkers. Let's see a little bit of reminiscence from game number 1, I suppose, here. At least in what the Zerg is doing. The Frost setup is a little different, but could still be into Colossi and so on as well. With just some better upgrades, so... Let's see what we choose to do. He's actually going to build a Disruptor immediately, so apparently we're not going to stop on over by Colossi or anything just yet. So never mind what I was saying about that. Ignore it. Cancel. Cancel that command. Again, a few Hydras and Rouges coming through. The Hive and the Lurker Den still coming up. So we got the Fleet Beacon on the way, the Stargate coming through. Feeling the Star to get picked away. That's just going to knock a bunch of those down as well. +2 attack, +1 armor, all continuing on in. Like I say, when those upgrades are done, you're going to see a little bit of a power spike here from herO. We'll see if that's something he can really utilize in a big way or so, as our obs overhead provides the detection. We're going to be able to knock down a couple of crit teamers. herO just in general is clearly not feeling like he can be overly aggressive. He's not being aggro in general this game. He's been much more laid back with these Stalkers. And with the Fleet Beacon coming up, he definitely just says, hey, look, I really just want to see like later stages of this. I don't want to go and do anything right away or right now, so he's not going to bother with that. Now Vipers will continue through, still seeing our missile upgrade, +2 on the way out as well, as we have everything continuing in. Just going to be seeing our Stalkers going to go up into the center here from herO as well. It's heading up top. Stalkers going to get a link on the right side. A couple temps on the way out. +1 air weapons, +2 armor storm. Again, just all of the tech you could ask for as a Protoss player. As he gets into these upgrades, his army becomes better, his army becomes stronger. And we question a little bit whether Solo can really, fight against it. And if he's not going to hit Timing soon, it's definitely going to have to become a just much more late game focused game from him. Storm's coming by, a couple of creep teamers going down. Lurkers do get burrowed up to shove a couple things out of here and away. You see Solo pushing then just a little, like I say, Storm's not done yet. We're not fully set up into some of the scarier parts of this, so this is actually still for the moment just about reasonable, as you do have the next going down over on the far right side as well. It continues to build into the Tempest. The Tempest is something which I guess you look at and you say, well, that's going to be able to do a little bit better against the Lurkers initially. You're not going to try and get to the carriers, which just takes a little bit longer to set up on in general. So sort of goes off, a few lings are going to get caught, just going to be seeing our Stalkers continuing around that left side. Stalkers pulling forward, and just going to be seeing our Ravager going down as well. Just going to nab the Overseer here, so just going to take that out. A couple high tempos still coming through, the Tempest coming in. Lurkers still getting some of these static defenses just from afar. That's what the Tempests are good at, though, pushing these Lurkers back, force them back out of some of these positions. As you see our Forge finishing the +2 armor up. Another ship is on the way through as well. And still a +3 attack upgrade coming in also, so a lot of this still just getting set for the early few moments here. And these Lurkers, if they can just set up on these high grounds and then kind of fire down the ramps, they can be very powerful, very frustrating to deal with. Definitely something that can be a little bit tougher to stop. Just going to burrow up down the bottom side again. Just going to be seeing the Viper overhead. And Spire, I believe, just finished up too. We'll see against this higher and higher army count of Tempests and so on. Corruptors are going to become a necessity at some stage, so that's just going to become required. Just firing through the Spore taking damage. Vipers get both feedbacks. That's a great little catch on the side of herO. Exactly the casting you need. Now the Tempest is just getting free pickings. The Hydras will come forward to contest. This is kind of why you want some Corruptors as well. Ah, what are we doing? Do something about those Hydras. We finally dropped a Storm. Just took a moment or two. Some Roach is going to try and counterattack at the same time. Storm will not quite be as effective against those straight away. But we do have a chunk of Archons, and I don't think these Roaches are going to get through for very much. So it is stopping herO from fully focusing on that push forward, though, because obviously he was just picking up a bunch of free damage from that until the Hydra showed up, but now you're going to take the attention away from there once more. And Stalkers continue back through, just going to be seeing a few more Roaches going down. On the other side of the map, herO is still actually poking forward. Stalkers come through, going to knock a Lurker out of this, going to knock down a Queen, a Spinecrawler getting a few shots off as well. Stalker's going after an Extractor, going to knock that down. Hydra's coming through. The rest of the Stalkers out down to the south. Got another couple of kills there. I'm just going to be seeing the Lurkers still pressing across, still making it difficult for herO to push in anywhere. But again, at some point we need a bit of a better response up in the skies. 12 Corruptors at the moment. I guess it's only 5 Tempests. I mean, herO himself has kind of stopped a little bit in terms of advancing his air army. I wouldn't have managed it at all if herO is behind this now, started up a couple of carriers, for example. Like, you've got the Tempest to deal with the Lurkers at first, and now you start that slow transition through the carriers, which typically are the very good later game units to utilize in a PvZ game. So maybe missing out on that just a little. As our Stalkers, our few Zealots, will press up through the middle of the map. Spinecrawler taking some damage, going to blink forward, knock that down. Hatchery taking some shots as well. Wings coming through, just going to be seeing our Corruptors and Vipers coming back around. There's now a split army here from herO who, well, does pretty well for himself on that top side base, and now on the bottom side, obviously still just able to poke around. These Tempests able to get a lot done as long as they don't get met by the Corruptors, as long as you keep those just a little bit far away, they should be kind of fine. And again, so far that definitely seems exactly like what is happening. Like firing up, a lot of damage being done. Just going to be seeing the mothership abducted forward there. Now a time warp going down. The Corruptor's going to end up slowed. And that Tempest continue to go to work as we do drop another Storm. And the abduct in kills off a Tempest. Another Storm, making another, looking for more. Archons are going to be active as well. The Tempest taking so much damage. Well, we're going to see Disruptors flying towards the Lurkers. If we can get rid of some of these Lurkers, the ground army can continue to contest. The Corruptors clean out the Air Force, but we're actually building new Corruptors, but they might not be necessary. We don't have a great Spires, we can't just make Brutal Lords off the back of those right now. There's going to be a ground army from herO that's likely going to try and bust through against a Zerg who maybe has a little bit too much invested in the skies. And we'll see if that's something that can work. Folks from the low ground getting a few more of these drones. Disruptor shot fires through up to the high ground as well. The Zealots will charge in to grab a Queen. Rest of our Lings coming across. Just going to look to get a wrap around here. The Lurker's trying to get a bit of a wrap as well. The Stalker's coming back over. Just going to get a little bit more done as well. As we are going to see everything just gathering back through. +2 flyer attack on the way on the Spire. Continue that up also as another Disruptor shot lands. Looking for this one. Just land over on the left a little bit. And there's going to be herO has High Templars aplenty. Does he have Storms available? Apparently not just yet, or he would have dropped at least 1 or 2. There's the Greatest Spy, by the way. So you are making the move to actually make these Corruptors useful outside of just being Corruptors. They can morph into Brutes. And of course those Brutal Lords are something which can make some big plays a bit deeper into the game as the army here comes forward. A couple of Crypt Teamers going down. We do see the Disruptor still about halfway done here from herO, but he just finished up a round of carriers. 4 carriers just completed. We're going to start 2 more immediately. He is making that switch into higher tech air units that we were kind of suggesting a little bit earlier on was going to be the case. Or maybe should be the case, not necessarily that it would be, but that it would be something that we'd like to generally see. That's something that can generally help you out. Stalkers playing forward, just going to get rid of a couple of Corruptors here. The Lurkers will get rid of those Stalkers, but I don't think Stalkers are super valuable right now. Stalkers in this scenario are very good on the rebuild, so like if you take a massive fight building into like loads of Stalkers all at once, can be really good to shoot some units down, chase brutes, chase units in general. Stalkers in the main portion of this army want to be traded out for zealots, more carriers, anything that's just a little bit higher tech. They're not going to add that much in a larger, more long, drawn-out fight here. "18 minutes deep here on Grezvan. Got a nice solid macro game between these two at the ZVP. So seeing that carry about halfway done, and just going to be seeing our Vipers still producing through. Better Spire setup on the natural. We're just going to grab one Oracle straight away. Just going to be seeing this other Oracle coming back around on the bottom side. Still trying to see what we can do as our Zealots. We get chased away here. Army pushes forward, a couple of lurker shots already coming through, firing away. High Templars going to drop a couple of feedback straight away as well as Storm comes down. Going to see a few of these carrier interceptors continue to fire through. We're taking some damage, a couple of creep teamers just continuing to power by. This army now from herO is extremely difficult for solo to fight with the carriers involved, the Storms there. This really is the dream force. The Archons get a bit of splash damage out so the Corruptors can't just chase freely. And they're going to even Time Warp here to slow down the opponent should they advance. That means this base is guaranteed to die. Massive counterattack on the top right from Solo. We'll check in on that in a moment. This main army, though, might clash any second. See what herO wants to do. Okay, let's have a quick peek top right. Things are going to be just fighting some stack defenses, but with a Zealot warping, we decide that that's just not worth sticking to. And so we're going to back it up. Continuing by, again, just a few more of these building spores and everything coming through for the moment. Just going to be seeing a couple of High Templar. Need to be a little bit careful there as well, just a little cautious for the moment as well. Trying to stay out of troubles, trying to stay out of reach. Both players have very similar banks as well, so if this is anything like an even fight, then both have the chance to rebuild. Of course, Solo will rebuild more quickly. First, Fungal Parasitic Bomb combo is big. These Broodlords morphing on the south side was not pretty. Now we're going to have to storm these Corruptors as they fly, and these Corruptors have just melted. Solo's just lost. Surely that was a massively good fight for herO. Maybe it was not quite so great as I thought. With a few Broodlords still active, a lot of the ground force of herO's gone down. The Corruptors just died so quickly, I didn't think there was a world in which this was going to be somewhat redeemable, but as we continue around, these Interceptors are trying to figure out what they want to do. Finally just going to recall. I'm surprised we didn't go after the couple of Broods. They feel like quick, easy targets and knock down a lot of supply. herO has money to spend. He starts 3 Immortals. He starts High Temple. What a great call on the Immortals, by the way. He recognizes that Solar is likely to build Ultras on the follow-up. The Immortals are a genius call. That's so smart because he hasn't seen the Ultras yet. He just knows it's a possibility. And it's absolutely perfect for what Solo is actually building back into. And you can see here now that Solo might have been able to respend his bank more quickly. But herO still has 2k, 1k as they're pretty much similar supplies. And that's going to be really the big problem, is Solo taking a base down there that herO's going to try and pop a Nexus onto. And we need to be a little careful out in the front, surely, as, storms will start to come down. The 3 Immortals might not be okay if they're out in the open here. This was a horrible position for herO. He just left his units out in the front to die. And now the High Templar are being chased. We're going to try and morph in an Archon. We're dropping some Storms. Some Stalkers have been warped in too. They're going to hide behind the Robo facilities. They're a little messy. I think herO might still be okay, especially with a new round of carriers showing up. We drop all of the Storms we can before the High Templar have to become Archons. 3 new Immortals about to pop. This is going to be a hold from herO, but that was dangerous just for the fact he was out in the open. That did not need to be him so exposed. That did not need to be as dangerous as what it was. That could have been a whole lot nicer. Okay, thank you, by the way, Kipsteer, for the gifted sub over to Sade. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate the generosity of the gifted sub. As you do see, our carrier is still back on the way up. We're getting reset here in this in these armies, but I really do think this time herO's force should be too large. It was on its way to that before, and Solo got a good catch here a bit too far forward before he was truly ready, but now he has some proper supporting units to these Immortals and to these few carriers. Maybe the Infestors can pull off some magic, but I really feel like you're asking for a lot off of those Infestors right now. I was just going to be seeing a couple of Ultras. This is the problem. On a quick follow-up, the Ultras might have been really good, but I really do feel like herO played it very well. Yo, Neo Parasites, though, and good Blinding Clouds. That's the exact kind of fight Solo can take that is going to be in his favor. These Ultras are going to chase down what is left. That one Archon. Man, some of these Ultras are so low. We don't have any transfusions to help him out. 10 more Stalkers warping in. Okay, I'm not going to lie. Solo continues to take some very good fights that are surprising me. There's so many Stalkers, though. Can we actually fight these units? The Stalkers have the ability to kite away and just to deal with these Ultras. There's so many Ultras and low HP that these Stalkers should be able to finish a few off very easily. Even the carriers might turn on to them. The Corruptors are all dead, so the carriers are now not being stopped. It is going to be a herO victory, but my goodness, herO knows how to make us worry. herO knows how to make us a little bit more concerned than I feel like we ever should have been. It felt like that was meant to be a much simpler situation for herO.